Thank you, sweetie.
Barry, you look very imposing.
Right.
I don't think so.
Okay, the Round Lake Village Board of Trustees meeting for November 16th is hereby called to order. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is public comment. Jim, you can talk to him after. He has a secret.
Executive session.
Yeah. Superintendent, John is not feeling well. And as you may have noticed, the speed bumps are up. We have requested enhanced enforcement from the sheriffs. That was yesterday, and they got right on it, as you may have noticed.
Yeah.
We were inundated with troopers and sheriffs and pulling people over left and right. So that's good. Well, maybe we won't need speed bumps. We'll see. Treasurer's report.
I know they came in the request. Are they gonna come periodically, or do we just have to sort of request it?
I'm not sure.
If they would just pick a random day every month
Yeah, that would.
or every week.
Yeah. I mean, I have been investigating the cost of getting a dedicated service for the village, because a lot of towns, it's kind of odd because the sheriff, I mean, they patrol the county, but a lot of towns, Clifton Park, Malta, spends an additional $287,000 a year for dedicated additional patrols. I'm not quite sure how that works, but and town of Wilton contracted for one full-time equivalent sheriff in the town, and that was like 74,000. So I mean, there are ways of addressing it if you want to spend the money. So just something to keep in mind. Treasurer.
I emailed the monthly financial report. I have two resolutions that I need tonight. Number one, the fire department has received 2 dividend checks from Amsher Insurance totaling $5,103. Resolution is requested to deposit the $5,103 into the fire department's equipment.
It's gonna be separate. So, right?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Oh,
Tom? Yeah. Tom, do you want to vote?
You're muted.
up or down? You're muted.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Now I'm okay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your
Okay,
vote?
yes. Yes, I'm sorry.
Heidi?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Number 2, paving of village roads is completed for the year. Payment is due. Cost of the project is $86,658, all of which will be reimbursed by the New York State Consolidated Highway Improvement Program for CHIPS. The CHIPS expense account A5112.2 and CHIPS revenue account A3501 each have $57,811 budgeted. To cover the remainder of the costs and account for the incoming revenue, the resolution is requested to increase the CHIPS expense and revenue accounts each by $28,847. And then it's the budget.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Discussion.
Tom?
Yes.
Heidi?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
And that's it.
Chief.
Any folks for you that don't know me, I'm second assistant chief Richie Burke. Mike's unavailable this evening. We had 43 calls for the month, so it's a little bit slower than we've been on pace for, and we're about 470 for the year. 2 updates for the village is 12/16. We are doing caroling in the village. I believe we communicate more details as how that's going to play out when we actually have that figured out. And then Santa Express is actually in 12/17. Thank you.
Thank you. And when you, could you at some point send the info to the clerk and we'll put it in our village
Sure.
newsletter,
Yeah.
so. Code enforcement.
We did a walkthrough inspection for stormwater at Victoria Landing. We're out from probably won't really deal with it until the spring. Stuff will happen this year, I can tell you more. Griffin's Ridge, they're trying to button up the site for the winter. They may pour some foundations, but they will do more framing, outdoor framing. Until spring. That's about it.
Okay, Bob is not here. Auditorium.
Hi. So I started working on the 2023 season. Events that are being considered are a lecture series, coffee house, an ensemble from the Empire State Youth Orchestra, community orchestra, Sean Rowe, organ concerts, a dance performance, and possibly something to do with the Saratoga Festival.
What was the
So,
last one?
maybe something to do with the Saratoga Book Festival. What I would like is that it's a relatively new thing that they're youth that is in Saratoga. They had their second one, I think, this year. And what I would like is for us to be part of the mystery portion of what they do in the book festival. Like bring a really well-known mystery artist here and play off of that. And I think we have the perfect venue for that. The only problem is that this year they had to wait in October, and that's a little too cold for anything here, but we're talking and we're seeing how it can work out. Today I met with a woman from the music company orchestra, and she was here and became aware of us through the opera. She came to the opera, and she would really like to bring their community orchestra here. And so we're working on the details to see if we can work out, you know, the logistics and all of the financial issues that orchestras have. But I think it sounded very positive. And again, I would like to thank everyone who participated in the 22 season by attending events, volunteering, and supporting the auditorium in so many ways. Coming out of COVID, we had modest expectations this season, but we had very good results. So something to think about. I today sent you a draft of a mission and a vision statement. Go at it, and we'll talk about it next month. And that's all I have for right now.
Okay, thank you. Clerk.
Just a couple of things. The municipal building plans are moving ahead. Now that the easement is in place for with the drainage under library lawn, more or less agreed that the village could do that. I'm just doing some resolutions tonight about that. Cost estimates from Thaler's office will be forthcoming in the next month. And then we're looking to publicly bid the project in February for a start in probably early April. Lamont Engineers has provided bell tower repair details, and the project will go out to bid as early as next week. Water meters have been read, and we're putting together the bills for December 1st. I was talking to Gary today about the organizational meeting, and we're thinking of having it the first meeting in January instead of doing it before Christmas, just sort of starting fresh at the beginning of the year. And also I've got some policies I'll distribute in the next couple of weeks and we can sort of chew on those a little bit. And that's it.
Thank you.
Question, the municipal building, is that just the front stairs?
Steps
entrance?
and ramp,
It is the ramp also, okay.
steps and ramp.
All right, thanks.
Good question. There were gentlemen in the village yesterday or the day before measuring the wires. Is that about?
We
We think that
think
they
it's
were
green.
contracted by Greenlight to start surveying the lines. When I asked
The
what he was
new
doing, he
fiber
said we're
service.
surveying the lines. So I think it was for that. He didn't know who he was working for, so.
Yeah, I kind of
Mhm.
stopped and was like, hi, you're taking pictures in the village.
Yeah.
and Who are you and what are you doing? It was like, oh, we're just measuring the lines. And then, I believe
Yeah, I asked him for who and he says, we're just contracted out. And he couldn't really-
It's a nosy village.
Yeah, it's very much village.
I was just curious.
So probably 5 more people asked him the same question.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
It's good to see them getting on quick. That's who it is.
Yeah, yeah. Planning board referrals.
Can we talk to him?
Peter?
Well, the only referral really is the PDD on Route 9. There's a copy of what's proposed of subdividing the land into and putting together around a 40,000 square foot plot to build a house on. The planning board said, we're okay with it so long as the remaining land stays at the land conservation. And they have to give something to the village for us allowing them to do this. It turns out the village does own some landlocked land on the lake. And it may be underwater, for all I know, I don't know. But we'd like to have access to it through her property. Whether she gives us the property or gives us an easement or, give us something so we can get to our land. And the other issues really are, the planning board is working on dealing with Saratoga, the county planning office, trying to deal with Clifton Park for the mill. The mill wants to expand by about, they currently have a 1,650 square foot pavilion patio that's covered. They want to enclose the whole thing and rip it down, build a new 7,000 square foot banquet hall, meeting space, 2-story with a meeting space above, with a basement with office space and storage with an elevator, and not increase any parking. We find this to be very difficult. And it turns out the parking that he is using, that extra lot on the other side of English Road, according to the county, is zoned residential. It shouldn't be used as a parking lot. So I'm trying to get clarity from the town of Clifton Park, and they're not responding. So we'll get there, This is gonna be a fun project.
That's it?
That's it.
Next, scheduled public hearing for the Sabia subdivision. And have that here. Whereas Greenlight Networks, where is it? Oh, it's out of order. Scheduled public hearing, Sabia residents, 2131 Route 9. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village Board of the Village of Round Lake has been asked to amend Chapter 180 of the Code of the Village of Round Lake to rezone a 1-acre portion of real property located at 2131 Route 9 within the village from land conservation to single-family residential, i.e. RD1, and subdivide that acre from the existing tax map parcel to be known as the project. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Round Lake designated itself lead agency for purposes of administration of the State Environmental Quality Review Act with respect to the project, and has received no objection to such designation. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees finds that the project is an unlisted action as defined by 6 NYCRR 617.4 AK, and accordingly, short form environmental assessment form has been prepared for review by the Village Board of Trustees. And whereas the project was referred to and reviewed by the Village Planning Board, which has recommended its adoption now, therefore, it is resolved that the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Round Lake shall hold a public hearing concerning the proposed rezoning of 1 acre portion of real property located at 2131 Route 9 within the village from land conservation to single-family residential on the 21st day of December 2022 at 6:45 PM at the Village of Round Lake Public Community Room, 49 Burlington Ave, Round Lake, New York. At which time and place all persons desiring to be heard will be heard, and it is further resolved that the proposed legislation be provided to the Saratoga County Planning Board for its review and comment, together with all other interested and involved agencies entitled to notice by law or regulation.
Second.
Discussion? Oh,
Tom?
Yes.
I, no, Matt?
Yes.
Tina? Yes.
yes. Greenlight Internet Service and Right-of-Way Contract Resolution. Are they combined in the one resolution?
Yes. Yes. it is.
Okay.
Contract.
Greenlight Internet Contract and Right-of-Way Contract. Whereas Greenlight Networks LLC has proposed entering into an agreement with the Village of Round Lake, which will grant Greenlight an easement to install fiber optic cable within the right-of-ways of Village of Round Lake, and in connection with providing internet connection service within the village to license space within the village hall in exchange for internet service at no cost to the village and at various other locations. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees has heard and considered the presentation provided by Greenlight Networks LLC and reviewed both the proposed agreement for internet services and the proposed agreement regarding village right-of-way. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the Village Board of Trustees approves the proposed agreement for internet services and authorizes the mayor to execute the same and deliver it to the Greenlight Networks LLC. And it is further resolved that the Village Board of Trustees approves the proposed agreement regarding village right-of-way and authorizes the mayor to execute the same and deliver it to Greenlight Networks LLC.
Second.
Discussion?
Question. What is this licensed space within the village hall? I don't remember that as part of the discussion here.
I think they have some products, or they have like a base, or like a, I don't know what they're called.
Server.
A server, and they're gonna, I'm not sure where it's gonna go yet, but
It's nothing.
it's like 9 square feet. They need like 9 square feet of
Yeah.
space to put this hub.
And possibly the basement. It's dry, so.
They talked about the fire department too, right? Maybe we should put
Yeah,
it
we
in story.
included fire.
Yeah.
Free high-speed access, fire department, auditorium, garage.
Yeah.
I think the library, village office, auditorium, so. Yeah, we'll save us a fair amount of money.
Malta has a similar setup with they're storing servers for Malta at their town hall.
The servers that serve the whole village.
Yes.
I would imagine we have space for that.
They said
Certainly.
9 to 12 square feet.
Yeah,
That's it?
certainly in the basement, there's plenty.
Village
Alright.
keeps getting smaller.
Yeah.
We vote on that yet? No,
We did.
we did?
We did, oh, we didn't
No.
vote, no. We'll vote, Tom?
He nodded.
Heidi?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Tina? Yes, Gary.
Yes. Maltaville water contract, I'm going to hold off till our next meeting. Johnny and I had some questions for Kevin King in Malta, so we've been going back and forth. So we're going to hold off until we get some answers for that. And bulk waste, we're gonna hold off till we
Yeah.
crunch some more numbers.
Yep.
Jessica got us some numbers. We had an idea that maybe having a permanent dumpster at the garage might be an alternative, so we have to figure out a few things. What would be the most cost effective and convenient for village residents. We're gonna put a hold on that till next meeting as well. And that is the old business. Under the new business, the Belmonte Letter of Credit Extension. This is, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, this is pretty much a routine extension of a letter of credit. They expire at a certain point and they can be extended with both, as long as both parties agree.
And this is
So-
for the roads.
For the, before we return or dispose of the letter of credit, which I think is for 100,000. We want to make sure the roads down there are in good shape. Tom, is there anything else?
I just add that it is in our interest to extend the time period.
It is in our interest to extend the letter of credit.
Yes,
Therefore, okay. Whereas Belmonte Builders has requested extension of letter of credit issued by Adirondack Trust Company related to paving, which expires December 21st, 2022, whereas the relevant paving will take place in 2023. Now therefore, it is resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Round Lake authorizes a one-year extension of the letter of credit issued by Adirondack Trust Company related to paving, which expires December 21st, 2022.
Second.
Discussion?
Oh, Tom,
Yes.
Heidi? Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes. And next on the screen is a draft of, I'm not sure how visible it is, but it's a draft of the proposed drainage project that, which is part of the repairs being made to the municipal building. It would require an easement to go through over here.
Right. Along Burlington, adjacent to the sidewalk,
Yeah, so it'd be that way,
from where the bicycle rack is to the corner of Fletcher.
right, to the drainage structure over here.
Yeah.
So as part of that, we will have to take down that dead pine tree there, so that would be in exchange for granting the easement through the Wireless property. Tom, chime in if I'm getting anything wrong here. So pretty straightforward, and Wireless membership has approved it, so this is the last step. So whereas the Village of Round Lake has requested Women's Round Lake Improvement Society to grant the village an easement across Wireless's real property adjacent to the library and along Burlington Ave for purposes of laying a drainage pipe. And whereas the village attorney performs legal services for Wireless from time to time, and whereas the village attorney representing the village in this matter represents a conflict of interest, now therefore it is resolved that the Village Board of Trustees authorizes the village attorney to represent the village in this matter despite this conflict of interest, and permits him to discuss this matter with Wireless, provided he advises Wireless that in this matter, he represents the village and not Wireless.
Second.
Discussion?
Tom,
Yes.
Heidi? Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Tina? Gary?
Yes. Any correspondences? Approval of minutes. They have to be done separately.
One is from September, we missed it. We didn't go on it.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from September 21st. And Tom was absent for that.
Discussion?
All right.
Aye. Except Tom. And the next one, I was absent.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the October 19th.
Second.
Discussion? And this is only Tom, Heidi, and Matt can vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Who can vote? Matt?
Tom, Heidi, and Matt. Mhm. And approval of abstract.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what we should have.
I will make a motion to approve the abstract in the amount of $213,490.74, and it is to be approved per fund as follows: $125,000, $835.20 from the A fund, $24,407.66 from the F fund, and $63,247.88 from the G fund.
How about you guys?
Discussion?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Village attorney,
Nothing else.
nothing, okay. Village mayor, like to congratulate Tom and Matt for their overwhelming wins in the most recent election. The vote count was mayor 311 and trustees 270s, 280s, something like that.
15 write-ins.
Yeah. Think Duncan probably got 13 on my line.
He does come in every day. and you
He
don't.
does, yeah. Oh, that was harsh.
Was a successful write-in campaign in Mechanicsville, though.
That's right, I saw
Yeah.
that. And village trustees, Tom?
No, nothing.
Videotape it.
Heidi?
No.
Matt?
Can we get on ordering those parking or playground signs, please?
I knew I'd forgotten that. I
Okay.
wrote it down already.
Thank you.
I knew you were gonna say something about that. But text me, text me
I
tomorrow.
will text you.
Tina,
I'm just glad to hear. proposal from that auditorium.
Yeah.
and public comment. Jim,
One small thing, the telephone pole that's out here on the sidewalk, telephone pole that's on that corner, when they put new poles in, they dug it up and now there's no concrete around them.
yeah,
That one I kind of have a hard time getting behind this.
I noticed that tonight when I was wheeling that cart there. I had the same problem.
Or maybe you could request it.
Bottom line is that
But
it's
it's-
one cause and
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to stay on medication.
can you remind me of that tomorrow?
Burlington, like Second Street, right at here.
Right here, right on the corner.
It's right when they replaced the poles, they took
No,
a chunk like that and then filled it with sand.
And
Yeah, it's annoying.
to a regular cardiologist, I'm in, and somehow we ended up.
Cecily. Figured I'd mute her just in case.
You never know.
Okay, so public comment, that's it. All right, I will make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Second.
On her
Discussion?
turkey trot run on Thanksgiving and then. People were.
Tom, we could hear you, Bergen.
What?
That's on Thanksgiving. So,
Oh,
yeah.
All righty, well, thank you all. Well, we're going into executive session, so we have some fire department people. All right, how we doing on time here?
That,
So Tom Peterson. We're not supposed to record what happens in executive session, but that's kind of hard when you are
you need to
on
stop
Zoom.
recording.
Well,
can
I've been
depend-
on Zoom then.
Oh, never mind.
Just stop recording and then.
Had a brain fart, never mind. Jesus, where do you go? Didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
What do you want?
That was pretty funny. Video. It's recording.